I do have an update about that TikTok to me singing to Taylor Swift as a security guard in Minneapolis. Long story short, I was fired for it. So 5 years ago, I went to Reputation with my then girlfriend, now wife, who wasn't the biggest fan of Taylor Swift at the time, so I kind of had to drag her along. I got to talk to a lot of the security guards that night and learn about what positions they can work and how they get to go to a lot of these concerts and any of the sporting events in Minneapolis. And that sounded so cool to me. So I got a job with a Minneapolis security company to work all of these concerts and events. So when I got the job, Taylor Swift was always the goal of something I really wanted to work, and I really wanted to actually be security there so that I just didn't have to pay for tickets. And when she announced her Eras tour, I was so excited and I signed up as soon as I possibly could.
A video of Calvin singing along to Taylor Swift while he worked as security at one of her concerts went viral on TikTok.
And when I went to night one, I was amazed. All of the fans were so loud and Taylor was phenomenal. So for my job, I wasn't allowed to turn my back to the crowd and really watch Taylor perform, but my spot was right about here, so I was able to kind of watch this crowd in this area, and my eyesight would get to look at the front stage and the performances up there. But anytime that she went to the center stage, I was just not really allowed to look. I had to keep my eyes towards the crowd. And so after night one, I was realizing how close Taylor Swift was getting to me, so I really wanted to get a photo to document it. So I handed out these little pieces of paper that said I wasn't allowed to have my phone out, but if Taylor Swift comes right behind me, please take a photo of me and text it to my number. And I handed this out to a couple people in the front row for night two, and they were really kind and really sweet about it. And so they did take this photo and a couple other photos, and it was very generous of them. Alyssa, who made the TikTok about me, did not have one of these. I think she was a couple rows back. When she made the TikTok and I saw that the next morning, I was so happy to see me going viral. And it was just a really fun time.
Little did he know that his follow-up video would lead to him losing his job.
I do have an update about that TikTok to me singing to Taylor Swift as a security guard in Minneapolis. Long story short, I was fired for it. My former security company said that they had a rule against taking photos with any of the performers, and the main issue that they had was with my follow-up video where I said I handed out pieces of paper to the people in front of me to ask to be sent any photos that I made my way into. Beyond that, the HR woman who called me wasn't able to articulate exactly what I did wrong, because I didn't do anything beyond asking for photos, which is what happens at any other concert, with the only exception being that I made sure I got any that I was included in. Every photo of me from that night was from behind the barricade, like any other photo from a fan would be. I never took my own phone out, and above all else, I made sure that Taylor Swift was safe and all the fans had a good time. As long as I was at that concert, I was doing my job. So the fun part of all of this came a couple days after I made the TikTok, when I got a call saying that I would be fired. On the call, I asked what would happen if I deleted my TikToks, and the HR woman said that she would talk to her boss and see what could be done and get back to me after she went on a brief vacation. I kind of waited, and then after more than a month, I never heard anything until I actually got scheduled to work Ed Sheeran this last weekend.
He was asked to work one more concert, despite being told he'd be losing his job.
So I did work the Ed Sheeran concert, and I went to US Bank Stadium like all was normal, and I signed in and I grabbed my work polo. A couple managers talked to me just to make sure that I wouldn't be making any videos, but a lot of them were really cool and willing to give me a second chance. I was scheduled to work roughly the same spot that I worked for the Taylor Swift concert, but shortly before Ed Sheeran actually went on, a manager moved me from that position to a different spot, which I was totally okay with. After I had completed 7 hours of my shift, I was told to go talk to HR, where the same woman who had called me a month ago was upset with me for still working even though I was assigned more shifts and I hadn't heard anything back from her. So that's my story. Lastly, please don't go sending any hate to this company. I just wanted to update all of you because it was a very popular TikTok for me, so I wanted to let all of you know what had happened. I still got to work one of the coolest concerts ever, and I got to work it twice, so that is fantastic, and I hold no grudges against my employer. That's all. Thank you so much for listening.
While it's a shame that Calvin lost his job, we are glad that he seemed to have a great time at the concerts. In the comment section, people were sympathetic towards Calvin, with one person saying, "You're a better person than me because I would be sure holding a grudge. Sorry this happened, but something great will come your way." While others were thankful for him doing his job, saying, "Thank you for keeping the Queen safe. I hope even though you were working, you enjoyed yourself and things get better for you." As always, thank you so much for watching Happiest. If you like this video, then be sure to follow our Instagram and TikTok pages for more videos like this. And if you've got any of your own you'd like to share, be sure to send them in.